We've lost Mary and Joseph. Couldn't find them among the ornaments, lights, and books in the several boxes of decorations we annually use to dress the tree and house each Christmas season. And mind you, Christmas season, not Advent. The bulk of our decorations are set up beginning on Christmas Eve, the first day of the season of Christmas. This is a blend of Nancy's family tradition of getting a big and inexpensive tree on Christmas Eve, and my crusty ritual liturgical purity and cultural resistance to the buying and selling, the crass takeover of the season by advertising, masked as Christmas spirit. But we found the shepherd boy, we found the star and the angel, we found a stray animal or two, we found the wise men bearing gifts. For us this morning, the three beautiful wise queens bearing gifts. Amen. And thank God we found the crib and the baby sleeping comfortably, but no Mary and no Jesus. They are essential to the ancient story, many lessons of faith in the narrative lines defining their presence in the gospel. Mary's vulnerability and strength, her bearing and dignity, the fresh inclusion of a central role for a woman she embodies, in contrast to the patriarchal granite that weighs down the human narrative, is refreshing. The Catholic Church has made a foundational cornerstone of Mary's role, even if they all but obscure the role of women in the hierarchy of the church. Joseph's warm fidelity is endearing and grounds our sympathy for his small role in the drama. But they didn't make an appearance on our mantle this year. So the scene was dominated by the three gift-bearing wise persons and the baby. And that's just right for Epiphany. There is something in the nature of this birth, the gospel writers want us to know, that is earth-shattering. It's a global story for the East and the West, the North and the South. This would be on Christiane Amanpour's international news segment on CNN. That's what the North Star and the visit of the Magi signal. You think it's just a birth, just another newborn. But oh no, Herod is involved in this. Affairs of state are in play. Power and authority are at risk. A change in the government of human affairs is at stake. Children will die. Families will mourn. But I don't want to talk about that. Did you hear what I said? Just a birth. Just another newborn. Well, tell that to the new moms in the maternity ward of any hospital, or giving birth now and then in the back seat of a car on the way to the hospital, or giving birth at home with the presence of a doula or a midwife. Say that to anybody present who is a parent or a grandparent, aunt or uncle, brother or sister, well, anybody alive. Say it to Rich Glassy, our executive director of operations. His wife gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, this Friday. Tell him it's just another birth. He's a new dad. That's a master of the universe state of being. In a text message we were exchanging, one of our colleagues called Hannah a hero. Parents are rock stars. The babies are miracles, every one of them. Each birth a miracle, every child a gift. We're talking about life here, life. That's the worldwide news. That's the common denominator of humanity. Nations, religions, cultures, genders, philosophies, histories, political systems, wildly different to the point of endless war, eternally irreconcilable differences. But what they all have in common, what we all have in common, is birth, is new life in the precious form of these helpless, curious, demanding, beautiful, soft bundles of pure joy to hold and see and care for. And it only gets better day by month by year. Now, there are moments of terror watching our children grow. Amen to that. But that's life too. It's just that every different day with a child is an adventure of a lifetime and an affirmation of life itself. I suppose they could have stayed home. Those gift-bearing representatives of the rest of the known world. They could have ignored their star-driven curiosities about political sensitivities. But look what they would have missed. The startup of a new era in human history. But this is more theological speculation than the text permits. Herod sent them on a mission. Go and search. And you read this perfectly, Lynn. Just the perfect sense about Herod here. Go and search and bring back the good news so I can join the celebration. The whole city was on edge. The top clergy were convened and consulted, well, grilled. Where's the birth going to take place? When did this star first appear? Every birth takes place in a context of multiple dimensions. Wouldn't it be great if there were two handsomely employed parents in a nice apartment in the right neighborhood with good schools nearby, close to public transportation, or with a two-car garage on a quiet street in a lovely suburb? Extended family, supportive and close by. And wouldn't it be great if there was peace in the land and among the nations, and we didn't have to worry that the planet might melt from warming and the coastlines overcome by rising waters, and the guns were gone. A wizened electorate having demanded common sense change as clear as a new baby's skin is smooth. Maybe that would be good. Maybe that's a narrow view. Maybe there just isn't some ideal context. Just what we have. Just reality. We've gotten so confused about context, details. It used to be, what month were you born and when were your parents married? Count the difference. We're done with that. And it used to be about illegitimacy. How could a newborn ever be that? Now someone to legislate gender. The spirit of Herod is still among us, colluding, questioning, plotting. Genetic engineering is the newest context with exhilarating and chilling possibilities for innovative biological intervention and designer cosmetic manipulation. I just want to say, whenever you get the chance, go. See the baby. A new age is beginning. Get in on it at the start. You can send a card, but if it is appropriate, go. Take a gift if you can. Be thoughtful about it. If it has to be done by Skype because you're many states away, okay, that'll have to do. I'm not asking you to go to the hospital and troll the maternity wards. You'll know when it's right for you to be there, when to go. Don't worry about the context. Keep the focus on the crib, the new life beginning, this warm, tender reminder of Emmanuel, another image of God right here. 16 pounds, 15 ounces of unconditional love. Over and over again, Emmanuel happens. God breaks into our world in the person of a new baby. Our niece Mariah was about almost 2 pounds, many weeks early. Nancy and I went to Washington, D.C. to see her in her incubator and to be with Nancy's sister. If we could have held Mariah, she would have fit in one hand. God's miracle and medical miracles all wrapped together. It was unforgettable. I know you have a birth story. They're all miraculous. I know they don't all have happy endings. The pain we sometimes have to feel is providentially the other side of how wonderful we know the experience to be. An aching confirmation. I'm just saying go, like the wise men did. And when you get there, you'll be overwhelmed with joy as they were, so profoundly moved, you may want to get on your knees and thank God. And just like they did, you may also want to leave Herod out of it. The unflattering context, the family or community or church gossip, the whispered bylines that obscure the deep truth of every birth. This is God's doing. And here's the long view. Keep going beyond infancy. Keep showing up when it matters. Times of sickness or crisis, go. When deep sadness or circumstances threaten to overwhelm someone you love, go. When intervention may be the last resort to avoid disaster, go. When your presence may be the surprise of grace in an ordinary time, go. When you know you are needed, when you need to be there, go. The wedding bells are ringing and two lives are becoming one. Go to honor a life well lived at death. Go. Sometimes we are so wrapped up in ourselves, my life, my challenges, my work, myself, selfie. So wrapped up that we don't think to go, to show up in the lives of people we say we love, or for the issues of the day that govern the quality of all our lives. I'm just saying, go. Show up. God may be waiting. You may walk into the warm light of an epiphany.